just entered the KBMOD podcast. Keyboard plus mouse or die.
Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome to episode 13 of the KBMOD podcast. I am back again this week after some unfortunate Comcast activity late night before episode 12. Was unable to join, but you guys did everyone here did a great job, and we had unfortunately I wasn't able to be here with Nuketown and Nick Fenton, but they did a great job, and
It's all right. We almost decided to go play dice in the alley, but
yeah,
we didn't.
You didn't.
We went on with the podcast.
That's good. I know. Well, you guys just proved that I'm really not the glue that holds this together, so thank you for that. But no, yeah, so episode 13.
Can't believe it.
Can't believe it. There you go. Thanks, John. I needed someone to say that.
Are we really on 13?
We really are, guys. This is incredible.
This is unlucky.
This is an unlucky number. But hopefully everything will go well. We got the usual suspects, as you can hear, guys. We got John, Brandon, and Dan, and myself. So how's everyone doing this week? What's been going on? You know,
doing better.
Yeah, how's the old shoulder holding up?
Did a rather long live stream last night, and it held up. So I think I'll be good to go.
You know you're going to go back to your specialist, and he's going to be like, "What have you been gaming all the time?" You're going to have to tell him yes.
Yes.
Yes. He's like, "I can't do that." Well,
it's good for you.
That's true. Like physical therapy, probably better than physical therapy.
Lifting weights or something with it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I wonder how much you actually use your shoulder with movement like that. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think when you're
more than you think.
Yeah, I'm sure. Nice.
But it's been all right.
That's good. What about you, Johnny? What you been up to?
Fucking dudes.
Nice.
About par.
Strong.
It's about par.
That's good.
Just normal week. Yeah. Fucking screw League of Legends right in the ass.
What, you're
I played nothing but League of Legends for like 2 weeks, and then I tried to play COD 4, and it just went very poorly. So that game can just die.
You still beat Otterballs.
I did, but he's bad.
That's not saying much.
He's the worst player of all time.
So do you like? So I mean, overall though, do you like League of Legends a lot, or is it?
I love League of Legends, but I can't play it because it messes with my my first-person shooters.
Yeah.
Why, you heading to MLG Orlando or some shit?
Yeah, I'm going down. I was going to play Gears 3.
Gears 3.
You and Gold Glove teaming up for that, or?
Yeah, I got a dot painted on my screen and all the good stuff. So we should be ready to go.
Nice.
That's what all the good Gears players do. They have dots on their screen. So.
Yeah, people used to do that in Counter-Strike for the AWP for no scopes if you were real gay or scout.
Does it actually work with the AWP?
Dude.
Yeah, if you have it in the right angle and you're not moving, you can be pretty consistent. That's what they claim. Actually, no, maybe it was only the scout. It's only the scout. It was Scout's knives. That's what it is. Because the scout is actually always hits. Yeah, you're right. The AWP doesn't always hit the same spot. No scoped.
I just use no recoil hacks and use a dot and cover 4. That really helps me out.
Yeah, that's what. Oh God, man, that brings me. It's funny. Scouts knives. You guys all play Scouts.
I know. It's
I was gonna say,
Scouts, dude.
I know you all the time. That's what it was. That people used to be like, "Oh, you have a dot on your screen, don't you, bro? If you like you're doing well."
I remember that accusation exactly.
Yeah, it's funny. I miss me some. Maybe you know what? During the live stream this weekend on mine, we'll have to do some Scouts knives. That's such a classic.
Sweet.
That would be.
Well, you see, Valve realized the problem with putting a dot on your screen for the scout, and so they put a bunch of bullshit on your crosshair for CSGO, so you can't even see it.
That crosshair does look absolutely awful. I'm assuming that's going to be very editable.
Customizable, yeah. It needs to be, because that'll be a big turnoff, and I will not play this game.
That would be a pretty big deal breaker if that crosshair is not able to be changed, yeah.
Black Ops laser sight options. It needs as many smiley faces as possible that I can use for mine.
It'll probably be as customizable as Rage's graphics options.
Pretty close.
I hear after this patch you can actually change anti-aliasing and some other things. That's exciting.
Yeah,
that's
it's like
big.
It's like it's a PC game or something.
Wow, we're already getting to the roundtable discussion already.
Fucking fuck.
Yeah, but as far as actually this weekend I got, speaking of streaming, I know Dan, you were doing some and testing it tonight as well, but I got my stream stuff all sorted out finally, which is good. So I'm getting excited for that event on the 15th.
Yeah, I got mine all pretty much sorted out tonight.
Nice.
So I think I'm good to go. Unless I stream Black Ops, but...
What, it lags really bad or something for you for Black Ops? Or?
Yeah, it just destroys my CPU. So.
What, did you try changing the resolution that you're playing on?
Yeah, I'm playing on, obviously, Jesus 640 by 40.
Oh, okay. Even with Black Ops?
Black Ops uses 100% CPU no matter what resolution you're on.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's retarded.
Unless you have a 980X.
It still jumps up on 100% on mine sometimes, but it doesn't really bog at all.
Yeah, I thought it would get better performance.
It would use 100%, but it can't use more than 4 cores, Brandon.
True.
I thought I was gonna get better performance out of Black Ops with that 570. Nope.
But it's your CPU bottlenecking. Every other game works.
Every other game
much
works
better.
Much better. Yep. So tells you how well optimized it was. But
you'll have that. It's Treyarch. They don't really understand how to make video games.
Vanilla Ops.
That's it, man. That's its biggest crime.
So where are we going with this?
I'm sorry, I'm drinking some iced tea. This is delicious.
So what I did this week...
Yeah, well, Brandon, you really didn't tell us what you were up to.
So I played a little more Battlefield 3 beta. They opened up Caspian Border, so I did get to play that a little bit. And tried out Star Wars The Old Republic beta. I don't think I'm allowed to say anything more than that, but yeah, did that.
If you were to describe the Star Wars The Old Republic beta...
In a hypothetical situation... Was the voice acting as bad as the trailers?
I didn't think so.
Okay.
But
that's only hypothetical, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can't confirm that or deny that.
No, I mean, it might or may not be similar to other preeminent, massive multiplayer games on the market.
Wow.
It might, but it might not. I mean,
I've heard from a source who isn't you.
Guys, I played in the Friends and Family Alpha.
There we go.
Friends and Family? What is that?
Mr. Dart, Mr.
No names.
Mr. Guy I know, Mr. Man. He said it's pretty much just WoW with the Star Wars skin. So
yeah, I mean I don't
that. I wish I
don't
could.
think that it was bad. I don't think that Star Wars is going to be bad by any means. In fact, I'll probably actually try it for a month just because. Why not?
Yeah.
And then we'll see where it goes from there. It has a lot of potential because, I mean, it's like WoW with an actual story that you follow through the game, whereas you don't just like. It just like follows a story like a single player game, whereas WoW you kind of have to compress all of this yourself. You know what I mean?
Right. You'd have to read all the texts and
like WoW. You know what the lore is because you have 85 characters that have done the same quest. But if you only have 185, odds are you did not read any of the quests. So
yeah, WoW doesn't put yourself at stake very much.
No, it just kind of goes with it. But Star Wars has some potential. I'm gonna try it. Guild Wars 2 though.
Guild Wars 2. Where's Nick at?
Yeah. For him to say don't care, not Guild Wars 2. All right, cool. We want to do. We're going to do a little bit, kind of a different kind of format. Not too much different, but we have a kind of a roundtable discussion. We're going to get to here a little bit later. But we're going to do. Still going to do the news, probably more like the quick hits, and just touch on some of the bigger stuff this week.
Indeed.
I don't know what did you want to start out with, Dan? We had a couple different ones.
Let's do the news.
Let us do
Be
it.
the Top Gear intro.
We now interrupt your scheduled programming to bring you an urgent broadcast from the front lines of America.
Well, there was a rumor last week, which Brandon has shot down completely. But EA may release BF3 on Steam just in time to get those release day sales. EA basically said nothing. They didn't say anything a few outlets asked them about it. They didn't say anything.
Yeah.
It would be good, but I guess Brandon, you're pretty sure that's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, I mean that would be a great thing, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen, especially not this close to release, because, well, for one, EA would probably be giving up a lot of pre-orders by only having such a short window, and they've already said it's requires Origin, so it doesn't really matter if it's on Steam or not if you're going to have Origin open anyway.
Yeah, Battlelog doesn't work without Origin open, and I'm sure that's programmed into the core, so.
God, I can't wait to add my friends like 4 times. It's going to be so good.
You have different friends on each server, different friends on Origin than you have on Battlelog.
Yeah.
Different
have
friends
3.
in your squad.
I'll have IE open and Firefox open, just to make sure one of them runs Battlelog.
I'm going to try to get... I don't want to buy the game. I'm just going to see if I can pay for Battlelog and if I can get a better deal on it. Because what's the point, really? No one wants to play the game. I'd rather social network with my soldier on the internet.
Just gonna talk to people.
Yeah.
Put up status updates.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could do that until I heard you guys talking about it last week. But that's the killer.
Are you sold?
Yeah, I'm sold. That's like the killer app or the killer feature of that Battlelog. Status updates. I just. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Brad. How could that, and you and John, like, how could that? It couldn't really, right? I mean,
I don't think it makes sense from a financial perspective for EA to switch tracks now.
I do. I don't know.
I mean, it would definitely sell more copies. There's no question.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the whole thing.
So if that's the bottom line, to me, it would be foolish not to.
Well, it would, but think about how many copies it's probably going to cannibalize from Origin. How many people are going to cancel their pre-orders and just pre-order from Steam instead?
I don't know why you do that. That's the best pre-order. I mean, you get so much shit with the Origin one.
That's what I mean, is that it seems like if you're going to buy... I mean, I don't like Origin. I don't like having to put another program on that is like a lesser version of Steam. But if you're going to make a stance and say that it's going to be on Origin and force people to use it, I mean, you have to stick to it. They have to have some business plan behind it. As much as I hate to say it, because I'd love to see it come to Steam, I really don't see that happening so late in the game.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make any sense for them. It would basically be them admitting defeat.
No, it's not, because they're still going to get all those Call of Duty players on.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy Call of Duty in Origin for sure.
Yeah, that'll be good.
That'll be great.
Next, what do we got next? Oh yes, tomorrow, big day tomorrow, supposedly.
The Bulldozer?
Still haven't seen anything. Yeah, Bulldozer comes out tomorrow. I still haven't seen anything except some guy got 2 cores to 8,000 to 8 gigahertz. I mean, that was the only news. There's no nothing with benchmarks yet at all, which means it supposedly releases tomorrow, or I guess now, but I mean, I haven't seen anything, so I'm not too sure if that's actually true, unless it's only going to certain outlets first, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where it slots in. I hope to God it's competitive. At least something beats a 2600K, because it's only good for both. It's good for Intel and AMD, and it's good for us if they can at least have some sort of competition. But you never know. So hopefully those come out and they're worth their salt, as they've been saying. Obviously they're pretty overclockable. So there's that.
I could maybe see the 6 or 8 cores competing on completely multi-threaded benchmarks, but I don't think any of those chips are gonna beat the 2600K for most applications.
I really think the top end one's gonna slot above it. I see no point to them putting it out unless it is.
I agree, but they're priced really aggressively.
Yeah, but that's AMD. They usually price aggressively.
Not that aggressively.
Yeah, that's aggressive even for AMD.
Although the old FX chips were not super expensive, but pretty fucking expensive. Like 600 or 700, I think the old FX chips were, but they were beast. But hopefully these are just as good. What else we got here? Oh, yeah.
Hitman Absolution trailer.
Oh,
Mother of
so
God.
good.
delicious.
Incredible, dude.
And as we were talking about before the show, that I'm pretty 99% sure that's console footage. I would assume it is, which means it's going to look even better on the PC.
Yeah.
And Hitman likes their PC.
They do. They do not slay.
Historically.
Yep.
So, although we'll get to what history means in a little bit.
Yeah, this doesn't mean much anymore. Yeah.
But yeah, there's going to be multiplayer, which they haven't detailed. But
That's the part that has me interested, because I'm just curious how they're going to implement that.
my theory is totally that it's going to be the hidden. That's my theory.
I could see or like how how they do it with Assassin's Creed multiplayer.
I don't actually.
Okay, where you basically have
playing single player but with multiple people.
Right, exactly.
Like completing single player missions, but your enemies are other players.
Right, and other assassins, and you don't necessarily know who they are, but you can figure it out. Yeah, you're trying to
Assassin's Creed
them.
Brotherhood is pretty fucking cool, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this apparently you can choose your playstyle like Deus Ex. You can go stealth, or you can go in guns blazing, which is just how the old game was.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can make a hit any way you want. I like that he pulled the electrical wires when he was playing.
Yep.
And threw that cop over the railing. He was hanging off the railing. There's just, I think it's going to be really dynamic, and I think it's actually going to end up being really hard. Especially if there's a difficulty level choice. I think it's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, there's an awesome if you just YouTube, I forget, it was a while ago. I think it was a video Toppin Gaming probably months ago, but I think it was Hitman 2, and it was this one guy, the hilarious way he assassinated. I forget what mission it was. Where he has the guy get hit by the car when it pulls up.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Does the dude have a bajillion bodyguards?
Oh my! Is the quality dropping for anyone else? I'm have horrible quality right now. Sorry.
I don't know well, but
I can't hear. It sounds like you're all underwater to me. Okay. Sorry, go ahead. But yeah, where he gets hit by the guy comes out into the street, then the limo pulls up and hits him. Hey guys, this is Scott, just interjecting and letting you know that about 2 minutes of the podcast here got all garbled up, so I had to cut it out, and you'll hear Brandon coming back in here. I had to actually end the call, reconnect myself, and then restart the recording. So you didn't miss too much, but just wanted to let you know that's why Brandon cuts right back in here, seemingly talking about a different subject. So give you the heads up. Back to the podcast. Go, go, go.
Took different physics builds to the different conventions. So QuakeCon, PAX, Gamescom, they all had different physics builds, and they've been trying to find the perfect formula. So really cool interview. We posted an article about kind of the most important stuff from that interview. There's going to be a VIP starter pack that you can pre-order. Don't know how much it'll cost, but pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to be getting that.
Yeah, absolutely, no question asked.
Yeah, what is it, double XP?
Yeah, it gets you, probably the most important thing is it gets you guaranteed access to the closed beta.
Yeah.
So you do get a beta key. You get a permanent discount on purchases at the store, on the loadouts and stuff.
Yeah.
He said you get more elite status in queues. I don't even really know what that means, but apparently that's a good thing. I guess
if you use the matchmaking system, then you'll get in faster.
That could be. You get, I don't know, there's some other things. I think you get an experience bonus, perhaps. Mm-hmm. And the back to kind of the delay on the closed beta, it sounds like one of the main reasons for the slight delay is that they want to put in a character progression system. So they're going to have skills or perks per class or per loadout.
Okay.
And then you level up those loadouts. So kind of I guess Battlefield, where you have your different classes, and then in Battlefield 3, you'll have to level them up separately.
Right.
You'll level up loadouts separately and gain perks and stuff. And he says right now that each loadout takes 20 hours of gameplay to level up completely.
It's not terrible.
No, it sounded, I think that's, for better or worse, it will keep people playing the game, and that's what you need for a free-to-play game. So
Right.
I definitely understand them wanting to put in some features like that and make people kind of more invested in it and want to keep leveling up different loadouts and stuff. So I'm sure that'll help keep it new for a lot of players. They are not going to have, it doesn't sound like they're going to have true dedicated servers in the closed beta, but they will have dedicated servers in the full game. So that's good and bad news.
Yeah, it's okay not to have them in beta, though. Especially if you want to support or test the stress on your matchmaking system in your own servers.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's part of it. But this VIP pack, I don't know, me and you were talking today, and I was basically asking you what you thought it would cost, and you said probably around $30, and I tend to agree because it's a free-to-play game, right? Like basic.
Yeah, I think it'll probably be right around there because they did. He did specifically say that the starter pack wasn't like a buy once get everything package. Mm-hmm. So it does give you some things. Like I think it does give you some in-game gold to start yourself off with some loadouts, but like it's not just a way to buy everything in the game. So I would guess that they're probably going to make it, maybe $20 or $30, and then put it at like that $50 or $60 price point if you did buy everything that was available from the start. So I think that would make sense to me.
It also sounds like it's going to be an actual beta, which we talked about last week with betas are just showing off, but this sounds like it's going to be...
You mean there's actually going to be bug reporting?
I think so. This is a PC-only game, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah, PC only, and I would say it probably is because they did push back the projected release date to Q1 of next year. So we're guaranteed at least 2 months of beta time, I would guess.
Right. That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to this game.
Yeah, I'm excited, and the one thing that has been pretty consistent is that Todd Harris, who is like their main PR guy, and I think he's actually their COO, he's been pretty forthcoming about questions people have had, and they had a long section of that interview where he talked about the loadouts decision, because a lot of tribes veterans have been bashing their decision to do loadouts and classes. And he went into like an in-depth discussion on the weapons and stuff. So, I mean, it sounds like they're definitely listening to all the player feedback they're getting on the forums. And again, we played it at QuakeCon, and for an alpha, it was excellent. So I can't wait to see what the beta has in store.
All right. Well, that sounds good. And once again, people, that's free to play unless you get the pack. So
yeah, free to play, and everyone should go apply for the beta on their website because they are doing hand selection for a lot of beta queues. So go apply.
Yeah. Besides that, we got Blizzard with not an odd move considering the Diablo 3 beta or Diablo 3 auction house, which is going to be able to use real money and make real money off of it. But with the first time that they've taken the WoW economy and kind of done this with this pet you can buy now for $10, which isn't out of the norm. They have a lot of like pets, vanity pets and stuff that you can buy for $5 or $10. But those
the Celestial Steed for $25, I think it is. Yeah,
but that goes on all your characters, and you never have to I don't know. That's a pretty useful one. I give the Celestial Steed credit. It's $25 because it can go on anyone. But this thing is bind on equip, which for you guys who don't play WoW, that means you can trade it. You can give it to other people. Most of these items are bind on account, which means your account will get to use like the Celestial Steed or the Pandaran Monk or any of the other vanity pets. But this is interesting because you can pay $10 and then sell it in the game for gold. So essentially you can buy gold through Blizzard, which I'm sure they prefer. But yeah, I don't know, it's just interesting. Just another little wrinkle Blizzard's going to allow. I kind of like it, to be honest. It keeps people off the gold farming sites, and stops people from getting hacked as much too, because those sites tend to not be that secure, surprisingly. If you go ask people in China for WoW gold,
Chinese gold farming's not secure? Come on.
it's not that secure. So,
Well, and you risk having your account banned because now you're implicit in
Right.
the gold that was probably taken from a compromised account.
yep.
Right.
So, yeah, they even said that was part of their intention. So
Yeah, they were painstakingly clear about what their intentions were with it.
Yep, I'm pretty good with this. I'm fine with it. Anything that keeps the player base a little more, I don't know. I'm all for the casual crowd now. So I'm down with it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised it took them so long, honestly, because I think this probably will have. It's not going to have as hard an effect as the Diablo 3 strategy is, where
Right.
you can put gold in or put money in and take money out.
Right.
Because here you can only put money in to get gold. I mean, you can't
Right.
take
And who
money
knows,
out.
You know, on a really populated server, you might not get much gold.
Right. I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a gamble for the person. So there's really no downside to Blizzard because people are going to buy these because people buy all the vanity pets for some reason. But, someone can put it on the auction house for some ridiculous price. Maybe they get it or maybe they don't.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
if you have money to burn, I guess it would be a pretty easy way to at least make some gold.
It's better than grinding blood sales for that parrot. That thing
is
sells
true.
for 20,000 gold, but yeah, I'll rather spend the $10 and not spend my life in Booty Bay.
Does that parrot give you
got one of those
blowjobs
parrots.
for 20,000 gold? Or?
No, it's just the only epic pet.
Okay.
It's dumb.
Once
So
you
dumb.
use the thing, it's
Yeah.
just another pet.
Right.
Yeah, most people can't even tell that it's not like the regular parrot.
Yeah,
You have
it's
to
really
actually click
tiny.
on it. and see,
Wow.
oh, it
Okay.
has
Yeah,
a
that's
title.
totally worthless. You don't even really get that those props that you'd want.
There's no
'cause they have
wow
to click on
factor
it.
to it.
Yeah, and when people do the
Yeah.
fucking quests down there, like poor level 40s are down there trying to kill blood sales, and everything is dead all the time because someone's always down there killing them all. Some level 85. So,
Nice.
and that is it for the news this week.
Sweet. Well, we do want to, in the new segment too, before we get into the roundtable topic that we want to discuss, was the Extra Life stuff, Dan. Just talking about.
Oh, we're going to do that before? Okay.
Oh, we can do it after. It's up to you. I don't really care.
Let's do it at the end.
Okay,
So,
that's fine. That's fine.
all I know is Extra Life is kicking ass.
It is. It is.
As
Oh
of
my
this
God.
recording, we are in first by a lot. Yes, it's not a contest, we know. But how much money is that we raised? That's awesome. Any incentive to keep people giving is good. This live stream from Kevin, man, just crushing it. So,
Yeah, I saw you had like 4,000 people watching that live stream earlier. That's fantastic.
yep. And they're still going, I think. So,
Nice. That's awesome. All right, so for this roundtable discussion, we kind of alluded at the very beginning of the cast talking about how previous track records by awesome PC developers don't always hold up nowadays with certain games. But there was an article. Maybe, Dan, do you want to explain a little bit what the article said? I mean, I think we all read
well,
it.
I mean, it
But-
came out last week. I
Yeah,
believe.
it did.
I mean, it's not that, and I purposely kept it off the page because I wanted to do this for a while. I just didn't want to write it, and I also was so taken aback by it that I don't know. I was
It's
pretty much
shocking.
speechless
It's-
for a
yes.
few days
Yes.
as far as like being able to write anything about it if I'd wanted to. So basically, John Carmack came out after the very, very flawed release of Rage on the PC, and basically said that he blamed everyone but them for one thing.
Yep.
That was the first thing. He blamed everyone but his own development team and himself. He blamed AMD, which was part of the culprit. AMD's drivers are notoriously terrible. I'm not denying that, but then he comes out and says in the fallout of all this, which this is a guy who you guys saw him live. This is a man who I would say is on a pretty even keel all the time. Doesn't really
Make shocking statements.
yeah, and he doesn't really. If I see John Carmack, I don't really think of someone who gets passionately angry or says something outlandish. He's very calculated. At least that's how I would see John
Yep.
Carmack. So when
We met a guy who works at id, And he said Carmack won't even carry on a conversation with you unless he can justify it being worthwhile. Like, he calculates the worth of your conversation in his head before he talks to you.
Wow.
So I'm correct in this assumption.
Yeah.
And he came out and said, and this is the man, and feel free to step in like John just did at any time if you want to say something. This is the man who created, basically, not PC gaming, originally. He wasn't like the genesis of it. The 80s had some titles and whatnot, but he essentially invented not even just PC gaming, but modern gaming, really. The days of like platformers and stuff are kind of relegated to the indie games, which I enjoy, but the first person shooter is the dominant genre. And he basically, with some help obviously, invented it with Wolfenstein 3D. And this is, if anyone's going to stay loyal to a platform or have a special place for it, you'd think it would be John Carmack.
You'd want it to be John Carmack too.
Yeah.
I just think.
Plus, he's like quintessentially a nerd too. Like he's like the quintessential gamer. Even though I doubt he games very much, honestly. But he wants to code. He loves to code. He loves being on the computer and coding.
Yep.
That's what he wants to do. So to see him say, "We do not see the PC as the leading platform for games," this statement will enrage some people. Really? But it is hard to characterize it otherwise. Both console versions will have larger audiences than the PC version. That's correct. I'll take him on that. A high-end PC is nearly 10 times as powerful as a console. We could unquestionably provide a better experience if we chose that as our design point, and we were able to expand the same amount of resources to it. So basically, if you don't get what you just said, basically we made console, and we made it for console, and we made it a console port because it was easier. Because they thought it would be a better experience for the money-making side of it. Nowadays, most of the quality of a game comes from the development effort put into it, not the technology it runs on. And we, as PC gamers, I would say, would wholeheartedly disagree with that sentiment, I would say. The technology it runs on is very much a factor in how the game plays. Like,
I would say the quality of the game still comes from the development effort, but putting all of the development effort to the console and very little to the PC gets you a poor quality title on the PC.
Yep. And
yeah.
I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, it's
there's so many disappointing elements in that and all those statements. It's hard to just categorize one area, but I mean, you look at it a couple ways, because he's, like you said, the godfather of the modern shooter, developed some of the most famous and well-known PC titles of all time, and so you can't just dismiss what he said, and like you said, he's a pretty calculated guy. So I don't think he's just throwing the statement out there. I mean, he obviously downplayed it and saying this will enrage some people. Obviously,
he acknowledges that it will enrage people.
Right.
He knew we would talk about it on the podcast.
He's listening right now, actually. But on the other side, it doesn't mean just because he's a famous developer that we necessarily have to agree with his sentiments. But I do agree in a certain sense, though, that the technology doesn't make the game. I mean, how many amazing looking PC games come out, but
right, they're terrible.
Right, that they play horribly. Exactly. So he's right in that sense, but you're right too, Brandon. It's kind of a weird argument, because it's kind of it's like a circle.
Right, the
kind
argument
of thing.
actually seems to shame id, because he's saying that the quality comes from the development effort you're putting into it, and the development effort for Rage, clearly a lot of that development effort went on to the console version. Right. So I think he's right in what he's saying, but I mean, it affected its titles or its title. They only have one, as much as anyone else.
And we all thought this was going to be the comeback. This was going to be a PC, not that it was like kind of even made for the PC. People knew it was coming out on console, but this is going to be like id's comeback.
How many years in development was this game again?
7.
7 years. And all of this was focused on console development. There's no way. You tell me 7 years ago when they set out.
It was clearly an afterthought. I mean,
yeah. I'm just wondering at what point they shifted their focus, right? So 7 years ago, when did the 360 come out and the PS3?
I don't even know.
It hasn't been 7 years, has it?
Wikipedia, rescue
I'll
me.
have to look that up. But it seems to me that maybe, I don't know. I mean, I can't disagree. I mean, if that's what he's saying, that's what he's saying, but it seems amazing to me that was from the get-go that they wanted to develop for console when they started developing this title. I'm wondering if there was a shift at some point during the development cycle, because I'm sure 7 years in development, a lot of things change in a game.
Right. But it's...
Yeah, let me see if we can...
I'm finding it. Sony PlayStation 3 was released in November 06.
06, okay, so...
And the Xbox was released on November 05.
Alright. Well, 6 years, 5 years...
You gotta think, and Carmack has lauded Call of Duty before, for the way it plays and the way it's very user friendly, and you know, he's applauded it in his own way, in Carmack's way. But you have to think that they saw a game that was developed for console first, and then sold a bajillion copies and has become a phenomenon.
Right.
You have to think somebody who's paying the bills
Right.
got in on this. But to hear him say it, it's just even worse.
That's right. It's that much more depressing, because if it comes down to, really, like you said, Dan, when you read that statement or look at those statements, is yes, the bottom line is it makes more sense fiscally to develop for a console, and so be damned. You know what? Well, that's just the consequence of the current, and which is fine. But you don't expect a statement like that from someone like Carmack, who we all, for all intents and purposes, like you said, loves to code. It seems like he loves what he does. I mean, he says he loves coding. So, not that, I mean, obviously he's coding for console or PC, but I don't know. So, but then to throw in the bottom line part of it, I mean, maybe we're kind of throwing him into a box. I mean, obviously he's all sides of it because he's, you know.
Right.
The head figure at that company, so he's got to deal with all the different angles, and I understand that, but it's there's no easy way to say it other than that.
Well, what they do? Run out of money? Like when they got to the porting part of it?
I don't know. Yeah.
Look at Human Revolution. That game was a console port.
Right.
It was, but. It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
There were a few things that they acknowledged on release that they didn't have, like some graphical things, FOV, some different things for PC specifically, and they said immediately, first patch, you're getting these. But the game ran, and it ran fine.
Right.
Unlike several other releases recently, including Rage. But I didn't see this coming in a million years.
No, dude. I mean, how pumped were we about Rage? Remember? We wrote so many articles on Rage. I think there's like 12 articles on Rage on KBMOD.com talking about, and really from like you said, we totally were thinking this was going to be the opposite, that the console version was going to be more of the afterthought in a sense. Yeah. Like, regardless of what they said, we were like, they're not going to phone in the PC version of the game. Like, that was not even on the radar. At all.
It's surely not what it sounded like when he was talking about it at QuakeCon either.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's software.
Right, it's just it's unthinkable.
It was unthinkable that this would happen, and then for him, of all people, to come out with this. I mean, I don't know.
To me, he does sound like he's on the, I mean, like you said, he's on the defensive here. Like, he's blaming everyone but
I think
his
he
own
doesn't
company.
want his baby ridiculed in a way.
Right.
I mean, he blamed every single thing for this, except for his own team and his own company.
Right. Exactly.
Now, at least the Dead Island folks said, yo, we done fucked up, dude. That was an Xbox 360 dev version we threw up there. We apologize.
Well, here you go, because basically, I mean, I didn't hear does it run fine on consoles? I mean, I haven't heard of any.
Yeah.
Right. So this is another side effect which we've already talked about.
And now it runs fine on PC.
Right. After how many? Has it been one really big patch?
One huge patch,
Okay.
and I do mean huge. I think it was like gigabytes.
Wow. So, but this is another side effect of, once again, right? He's not going to offend the console market because the console market is fine with the game, right? So he's not going to turn people off. When you look at I'm sure the PC sales obviously are going to be much less than the console sales. He can say things like, well, you know what, that's just the way it is, tough shit. You know what I mean? Like to not even, that is, the more I think about it, I'm getting angry because that is extremely arrogant of a statement for him to be like, well, you know what? Sorry, this is just the reality of the world. So, you know what? You shouldn't expect the game finished. And I mean, there's no, like, to not even apologize at all and be like, yeah, we really, you know, the driver, you know, the game should actually be playable on release day.
I don't think when I read the interview, I feel like there's no money in his answer. He's not making anyone happy with his answer.
No, that's true.
So I definitely echo the disappointment because obviously he's an iconic figure in PC gaming. And so it is disappointing to hear him say, that pretty much their development efforts are going to be focused on console. But let me play devil's advocate and say that, so, I mean, he does run a business, and especially given that they developed that title for 7 years, they pretty much had to release it multi-platform just from a revenue standpoint. And I really don't think that at this point Carmack is that married to PC development. I think when he was at QuakeCon, John, you'll probably remember this. He was just talking about the different challenges in creating Rage for the consoles and for the PC. And as we've said, when Carmack talks, he gets very technical. And so he was getting technical about all these different problems they were having in development. And he basically said that he doesn't care which platform he's developing for. He just likes the challenge. So the challenge for PCs, they're different than the challenges for consoles. But there's a part of him that the programmer in him, I mean, he's a programmer at heart. And I think the programmer in him he likes the constrained resources of a console. He likes the challenges of maximizing what you can get out of those consoles. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't like what he said here, but it doesn't surprise me that much because it is owned by ZeniMax. Okay, so he's probably not the one with the final say in its business direction anymore. And I mean, we all know that to make a big budget AAA title these days, it has to be multi-platform to bring in the kind of revenue to justify that cost. So,
speaking to that, even it seems like every time we get good news for PC gaming, we get something like this. But when Epic Games recently, they make Gears of War, correct?
Yeah.
Epic, they said basically they're shifting their focus to PC. They're sick of what you just talked about, actually, Brandon, is that they don't want to be betting their entire studio on a single title every time they do it. Because essentially that's what the cost, unless you're Activision Blizzard. Basically that's, or EA probably. Those are the two big dogs. Unless you're them, you're probably betting a lot of your company on that a game's going to succeed at this point.
That's true.
And so he said he's sick of it, and they're just going to try to focus on PC because that's where Unreal was born, and that's what they've worked with. But every time we hear something good like that, or Gabe Newell pumping PC's tires a little bit, then we get to John Carmack, probably the most legendary figure in PC gaming, coming and saying this.
Yeah, that's really good insight, though, Brandon. I think you hit the nail on the head about the programmer in him. Like, you know what I mean? That's what he is.
Oh, I totally see that.
And you're totally right about, like, he likes the challenge. And I think, when you put that into that perspective, I can definitely see that as more, kind of understand it more from that perspective.
He openly stated that he is not a programmer. He's an engineer. Like, he went to school for engineering, but he said once he started programming, he said the challenge and getting the most out of the smallest amount of resources is what he enjoys the most. He talked about how much he loved developing an iPhone game solely because he had so few resources to work with, and everything had to be done by him rather than tools, because those tools won't even allow him to utilize that small amount of resources.
Right.
It was pretty interesting to hear him talk about it, but it's an Apple operating system, so I didn't really give a shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Bob,
when you hear him talk, you can tell, like, his eyes light up when he's talking about, developing and getting past these challenges. And I really do think that that's just, he likes having one more roadblock that he has to get past. And I think, to his credit, it sounds like the console version of the game is probably, I would guess, is going to be one of the most graphically intense games that you can run on that hardware.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And now that it's fixed for PC, I'm sure it'll be fine. But like as Bob said in here, there's still no excuse. Not even the fact that this was such a half-assed thing. This and Dead Island are the only two I can really think of that were this
Red
bad.
Orchestra. No, Orchestra is bad.
Yeah, but that was made by dudes who don't know what they're doing. John Carmack knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Bob said basically, you didn't test it on a PC before it was out? You didn't... This is the biggest thing that Bob wrote that I was like, seriously, you didn't think about this? You didn't assume that someone would be running the Battlefield 3 beta drivers.
Well, hold on. I'll actually counter that point, because I'm betting they probably didn't know that there would be a specific Battlefield 3 driver, because that driver
But they do that all the time. NVIDIA and AMD do that all the time.
No, they don't do that all the time. Release a beta driver for a game's beta.
For a big release?
That rarely happens.
Yes, they will. Definitely.
Well, I can attest to the fact that BF3 beta driver was bad news. So I don't really fault them for that, because, again, that's just one guy who makes that driver and then puts it up on ATI's website.
A one-man team of ATI.
So I can't fault John Carmack for not having known to talk to this one guy to see if he was going to release that driver. But I can't really give a good explanation for why the game wouldn't work right on, all the other retail versions of the Catalyst drivers, especially. I mean, I'm running, I think, Catalyst 11.6, and they're now at 11.10, and there's no reason that it shouldn't run perfectly on the past 4 or 5 incremental driver versions.
Yep, I totally agree. And as I said at the beginning of all this, the Catalyst drivers are notoriously shitty, so that didn't help. But I don't know, man. All I gotta say to you, John Carmack, is next time maybe we can put a little blame where blame actually lies.
Right. It probably would have made everyone feel better if he just kind of been like, listen, we're sorry that this happened. There's just no... That's someone in PR. Right. Someone
PR
just say, you know what? Okay, he can say all that stuff, but then at the end of it be like, but in retrospect, we regret these inconveniences. Just some kind of, but it's just kind of like, yeah, well, sorry, but we didn't realize that there was, beta drivers out for a game. It's just kind of like, which I understand, like you said, it's his baby and all that stuff.
Well, he can say that there weren't beta drivers out for another game, but when you installed the older versions of ATI drivers that weren't the Battlefield 3 beta,
still don't work.
It's still fucking.
This is what they told you to do. Bethesda,
so that's just an excuse that he didn't think all the way through, and it just came out of his head right then and there.
Mm. Yeah.
I will say the one thing that this scares me a little bit, because I am still quite looking forward to Doom 4. But given what he's saying here, I don't know if this applies to all titles after Doom 4 or what, but I will say that I will be much more upset if the Doom franchise becomes subject to console porting.
I don't know how you don't, after that statement, don't think that that's what it is. I mean, I think he made it pretty clear.
I don't know that its reputation could suffer a blow like that. I mean, I'm sure they probably would get through fine, because a lot of console players don't know the history of Doom.
Right.
But they would essentially write themselves out of the PC market. They'd become the next Ubisoft.
Yep. They'd be really hated. Really, really hated.
Yeah.
I mean, if you mess up Doom or the next Quake, either one, whatever.
Quake can't go on console. The multiplayer just will not play on a console. It's way too fast.
John, what do you do if they will try to do that with the control? Will you just...
I don't ever play id game again.
That would be it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, Quake of all games could not.
Some quintessential things to that game. It'd be like if CSGO had aim down sights. That's like seriously what it would do.
Yeah. And fucking class perk setups and stuff. I think they can summarize my feelings in the Son I Am Disappoint picture, Dan, that you were so fond of.
God, I love
on
that
the site. What a picture.
But I gotta give Bob credit here. I'll give us some props. I like Bob's letter to John Carmack.
Yes, this is very well done.
So also
John Carmack giveth, John
and the Carmack taketh away.
Yeah, that line.
Also,
great.
Godfather 2 footage.
Yeah.
Man,
really fit. Yeah, it was beautiful.
All right, well that was good.
That was good.
You can find an article worthy of this every week.
Yeah, I like the round table. Knights of the Round Table thing we got going here.
It just makes me so disappointed because, like, when I was at his keynote and just listening to him talk at QuakeCon, I was like thinking of how much I was in love with him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't. His reputation doesn't really falter to me, just because, like I said, he's calculated even in this statement. He's like, I know what I'm saying is going to offend a lot of people, but here's the reality. Like, John Carmack doesn't care. He's not going to sugarcoat it. He's telling it to you how it is. So, I mean, one part of me appreciates his candor and the fact that he's not just feeding us what we want to hear. But then the other part of it makes me think, you're John Carmack. Tell me what I want to hear.
Yeah, no. That's exactly this whole roundtable is basically why you do this, John Carmack.
It's like your dad who's never hit you before, and then all of a sudden he hits you. You're like, Dad, why?
And he like looks at his hand and like he doesn't even know why.
Yeah.
But he's like, that was justified. In his head, he's like, that was justified. And then he looks at you, points at you, and he goes, "You needed that. You needed that." You're like, what just happened? Put the belt back on.
Yeah, that is kind of how I feel.
That's when Doom 4 comes out and it's a console port. That's when he takes off the belt.
Yeah, that's when he's actually. I would go a little further with that analogy and say there's more than the belt being applied to you at that point. That's some messed up shit.
We get cigarette burns on the chest here.
Yeah, some messed up stuff. Yeah, let's roll. Let's roll to the. I guess we'll before the end of the cast, Dan, we'll definitely talk about the Extra Life stuff. But let's do the Q&A, and then we'll do Extra Life at the very end. Keep it fresh in everyone's mind. So yeah, let's do the Twitter questions as Trout introduces us right now.
And now it's time for Twitter questions with the KBMOD podcast.
Okay, go ahead, Dan. Need that cue.
Brandon, you collected some as well, so we'll alternate today.
Cool.
So you go ahead, Brandon. What's the first Twitter question?
Okay, well, I don't think this kind of thing has been asked before, but maybe it has, and I forgot. But this question is from UDP7, and he asks, when did you build your first computer, and if you can remember, what was in it? So I'll go first because I actually pulled up my Newegg order history from March 23rd, 2005. And we got this is my first PC I built. I think I was about 16, and I won't go through everything, but I had a gig of Corsair XMS RAM.
Wow.
Oh, a gig, dude.
Blazing.
I had an XFX GeForce 6800.
Uh-oh.
We lose him?
Did we lose him?
GT.
Oh.
And we had an Athlon.
Oh, no.
Still there?
I can hear you now.
Cut out again.
Kind of cutting out a little bit.
Okay, sorry.
You're there.
Yeah, the GeForce 6800 GT and an Athlon.
I had an Athlon 3500 plus, 2.2 gigahertz.
Nice.
500.
My first computer was actually originally a home PC that my mother bought, and I ended up upgrading that. I got a 9800 Pro, and that was the first component I ever installed myself. And then as soon as the Athlon FX CPUs released. I think it was like an Athlon FX 6000 or something.
Big money. Yeah.
I built one of those. I built a PC with that, 2 gigs of Corsair RAM, which was about $300 or something back then. And I also had a 6800 GT in that.
Dude,
and then I went on to install another 6800 GT in a dual core system the day that those came out.
That reminds me, my first, actually technically like my first computer hardware experience was kind of similar to yours. I had a Dell Inspiron desktop, or not Inspiron, whatever the desktop ones are, and I put a 9700 Pro in it, but I had to upgrade the power supply. Well, the Dell backplates for the cases are like non-standard, so me and my dad had to take a Dremel and like saw out the back of the case to get that power supply in.
I had the same exact experience. Like my first hardware stuff was 2 different machines. I had a Dell Inspiron. I think it was my parents', like, before I had my own computer. It was like a Celeron. I think, like, what was it, like 1.5 gigahertz or something.
Celery,
like that.
baby.
Celery, yeah, and 256 megabytes of RAM.
Nice.
Oh, it was, and I think the first thing I ever did was upgrade the RAM, and then I what was it? I don't remember what the video card I put in. Something really shitty. And because obviously it just had onboard, and then I inherited an E-machine from my uncle, and upgraded as much as I could with that. And I think my first build though was I think like my first legit build was probably like maybe a Core, really really early Core 2 actually, which is so not that actually.
I'll be the old man here then.
Yeah, you will be. You will be.
First build I did was shady as fuck, too. Sweet. This is good. Bob, KBMOD Bob, there's a computer show with, like, those dudes who sell parts at the back of their trucks, basically.
Oh, I've walked around those.
And it's down at the convention center in Monroeville. And we drove down there before college started, our freshman year. This was in summer of 2001. And we went down there and we were like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude, you'll get, I took all my graduation money and we went and built me a computer. And because even in the early 2000s, laptops were so shitty or so huge that it was like just not really worth it for a laptop. So went with a desktop. I had a 45-pound CRT monitor. It was like 15-inch. It was seriously the heaviest CRT I've ever dealt with. But what was it? It was an Athlon. I think it was an Athlon. Might have been a T-Bird, old school T-Bird, 800 megahertz beast.
Was this for Diablo 2?
Yeah, I played Diablo 2 on it, and I played StarCraft on it, and I played Counter-Strike 1.6 on it, and Half-Life 1.
Ooh, nice.
And I played Return to Castle Wolfenstein and Enemy Territory on it, actually.
Nice.
So I had that thing.
Enemy Territory on an 800 megahertz processor?
Yep.
How'd that go?
Fine. Load times were awful, but the game ran fine. I just had everything down on it. It had like a GeForce MX 200 or something was the graphics card, and then it was 256 megs of RAM, and I had like a 20 gig hard drive, and it was beast. 20 gig was like, yeah.
You were living the high life on 20 gigs.
Yeah, dude.
You could never use that much space, you were thinking.
Never.
Yep.
And then I upgraded almost instantly. Within like a year, I upgraded to a gigahertz Athlon, a normal Athlon, because they use the same motherboard. So, but yeah, so that was my first build. It was $700 all told, everything. So, out of the back of some dude's truck, and none of the parts failed. Amazingly, from like a Gypsy show computer.
Gypsy products. Yeah, they have a couple of those shows here every year. They've won.
If your part works, it's a good deal.
Oh yeah.
The thing you don't buy there are games. They sell there, like they were selling games, and it would be like, "Yo, dude, here's Half-Life," and it was like Half-Life in marker.
Yeah, burned. Yeah, just burned copies of everything. Yep.
All right.
That's funny.
So, this is a really in-depth question coming up next. This one's really going to tax you, I think. This is from Wamibo. Who's a bro. And, man, this is a tough one, because both of these would scramble your brain. Would you rather Nighthawk with Mike Tyson or play Portal 2 with iJustine?
Wow.
Nighthawk with Mike Tyson.
Wow, dude.
That was a quick answer.
Well, that's true, because Mike Tyson can't beat you like into a senseless pulp, because you gotta have sex with him afterwards. So
No, he can't. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping he knocks me out and then just has his way with me so I don't feel it, because that'll hurt. So, but yeah, I agree with John. You can't do the iJustine thing, because you'll end up killing yourself. There's no way, dude. I mean, if you guys haven't seen, I think we talk about, like, I think the last 3 episodes have actually referenced iJustine, to be honest.
Yeah, we talked about Portal 2 playthrough.
Oh, okay, you did. Yeah, we have.
Doing co-op with her?
Oh,
Dude, puzzles would take days.
The only way that would be allowed is if she was maybe naked and you had the camera up in the corner of the screen.
Yeah.
Maybe then. And then you muted the TV so you couldn't hear her talk. And then maybe it would be bearable.
I'm going to go with Portal 2 with iJustine.
Wow.
Because then I'll be YouTube famous.
Okay. But at what price? At the
also,
price
I don't
of your
have
soul?
to have sex with a large black man.
I was going to say, you're usually a proponent of Nighthawk.
I am usually, but Mike Tyson's a tough motherfucker.
Yeah.
I think I would have to go for Portal as well, because I don't see Mike Tyson as a sympathetic man.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, he may not take
He's a tattoo on his fucking face. He doesn't care. I mean, he doesn't care about anything. So killing you and then raping your body is probably, in not a big deal.
Yeah, that's not a hard decision for me.
No.
All right, Brandon, your turn.
Yeah.
Let's see. Actually, this is I thought this was an interesting question from Childish Samurai. What is your guys' favorite type of alcohol? And then, like, your favorite brand.
Favorite brand.
Is this meaning liquor?
I would guess liquor. I think you guys have talked about beer before.
I like Bankers Club gin with tonic at really shitty bars for $2, and me and Dan spend $100 on them.
That happens.
Nice.
And then the man next to John keeps touching him, and it's weird, but you're so...
No, we really did spend like 70-something bucks on $2 gin and tonic one night. We were fucking hammered. Dan drove. It was a great decision.
Yeah, it was a good life choice. 35 gins later, you should probably drive a car.
Kids, don't do that for real.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm going to go with my favorite liquor is it's between a couple. Is either Jameson.
You took mine, but go
Jameson Irish whiskey.
Yep.
Or Glenlivet 12-year Scotch. Nothing like sipping some Scotch in the fall, which is the best time of the year. So I'm going with that.
I like men.
Even though Jameson didn't treat me well last time when I was in Pittsburgh and poor Audrey's rug, I still have to go with Jameson. It's
delicious.
It is. It really is. I mean, it's so smooth.
Yep.
There's nothing smooth about any form of liquor. I hate it all except
Really?
gin and
You don't
tonic.
like
I fucking hate it all. I would rather inject vodka into my veins than drink it.
Well, your last experience with Jack Daniels was...
I don't remember that. Which experience are we talking about?
The one where you yelled racial slurs in my street at 4 a.m.?
Oh, okay.
And then had to drive to, like, North Carolina or something the next day.
That was awesome.
John fell asleep with his head inside my house and the rest of his body on the porch.
I didn't fall asleep. I passed out.
Yeah.
There's the difference.
Wow.
I would say my favorite. I'm a whiskey guy, so my favorite will probably be Crown Royal. I like pretty much any Crown, but their Cask 16, which is like their really nice one. That's very, very smooth. So that would be my pick.
Are you an asshole like my buddy Nick and order Crown in 3 cubes, and if they don't put 3 cubes, you send it back?
Wow, what a dick.
No, he's trolling. He trolls bars.
That's funny.
I've never done anything like that. I don't think I've ever hated a bartender so much that I just want to
Do that to them.
All right. Well, this is interesting and ties in with our round table. This is from Dunkus. Boy, Dunkus.
Oh, yeah.
That's the question.
Man.
Why do these developers consistently release games on PC that just plain don't work right when they come out? Well, it's because of people like you playing console alone.
Pretty much.
Jerk.
Pretty much.
You're the problem.
You're not helping, okay?
The money is in console for now, but there's been statistics all over the internet, and the rate the PC gaming has been growing lately because of KBMOD.com.
That's right.
In the next
Farm Bill.
in the next 5 years, PC titles will be outselling and outgrossing console titles.
That's actually true.
It's not based upon the big releases like Call of Duty and all the other piece of shit games that you guys play. It's like tiny titles, indie games, stupid Facebook shit.
Yep.
Everything. Like
Social games and free to play is going huge.
Yeah. I mean, it's just you can't really do the free to play model well on a console.
No.
Just too much microtransaction shit and too many chances for shit to screw up.
Also,
whereas it works on PC.
Do you know how much I hate buying a console game, even when I want it? Like, I'm going to get Forza 4 here in the next couple weeks because I really want the game. I'm going to enjoy the game, but I actually hate going out and spending $50-$60 on a disc.
You should just get that adapter, buy Forza 4 for PC, plug in your Xbox controller, play it in Infinity, or whatever the free monitor bullshit is. I mean, if you're going to play a racing game and you don't have access to Infinity, it's for console. But if you have an Infinity setup at your house and you're playing a racing game on console, you're doing it wrong. Like if there has ever been a type of game developed where Infinity is just reigns supreme, it's racing games. And MMO is decent. But
every time I've seen an Infinity display, like at QuakeCon or at other conventions, like demoing Infinity, it's always racing game. Usually like Dirt 4. Dirt 4 in Infinity is just gorgeous.
But I don't know what it is about going to buy the physical game. I just hate. I'd rather spend on Steam. I don't know. I just rather would. That is actually a lot of the factor. You have to
fucking go somewhere, and it's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
To get out of the house, and it's just what a drag. No, but well, I was thinking about this. Does GameFly still exist, that service? I think it does, right?
Yeah, I think it's
like $8 a month. So just do the math. I was thinking about this the other day. Like, so I don't buy console titles.
From them too.
Yeah.
For less.
So I don't buy console titles barely ever. Like, I have a few sports games that I'll buy, typically play year to year with friends, but so if it's $8 a month, just do the math. So you can get a game or two and keep them as long as you want, just like Netflix. So if you get a game, let's say you get Forza and you want to, I guess if you want to keep it, there's a difference. But even then, so you could have the game for 6 months and still only spend, not even pay the full retail price for $48. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't play enough console games to do that, but I was thinking about that because like there's no blockbusters around at least my area anymore. Like there's no real competition.
Well, they don't exist.
You can't rent games anymore, really. So Blockbuster does well still in Europe though. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Trout works at a Blockbuster.
Yeah, Trout works at one, and I was asking him, and I'm like, they have Blockbuster still? And he's like, dude, they're huge.
They are literally out of business in the U.S.
Yeah, they got nothing here.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. It's because of your console little big titles, but it's not really dying. But it's the ports that are really the bad part.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing too is that at least compared to console, I think why maybe we see versions of games that don't work as well on PC for release is because you can put out a patch to the PC very quickly, whereas anything going to the consoles has to go through Microsoft or Sony's certification process. Yeah. So if the game is broken for PC, they know they can fix it much quicker than if it's broken on console.
Even Dead Island, man, within like 3 days,
they had a completely different version.
Yeah, Dead Island and
a whole different version of the game.
Oh, that's right, because they released the wrong version the first time.
Yeah, but they were able to incrementally release things over the course of 2 days to where you never had to download more than like 300 megabytes.
Yep.
which is the beauty of PC. Whereas if they were to do that on console, the technology and how they have to compress things and to fit on a console's disc, they couldn't just update 300 megahertz or megabytes and completely change a game.
I mean, look at if you get off Steam, if you actually log off Steam each day and then log back in, I swear to God, every other day there's a TF2 update.
Yep.
So I'm fixing some little bug.
Console guys have gotten a ton of TF2 updates from what I understand.
But like,
I mean none. I mean none.
Just thinking about TF2 on console makes me laugh. I can't even imagine. I can't.
But Matt Dunkus, it's not that they're releasing it's not that PC developers release broken games. It's console developers that release broken games to PC. Hard resets worked great from day one. Looks
Did you beat that, by the way?
Tribes is going to work fine.
As soon as
you can work again?
As soon as I was after shoulder surgery, I'm going to do the whole Let's Play.
Nice.
But now I'm running it on Ultra with this new card, and it looks
beautiful.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it's awesome. So, yeah. But that's why. Ports
Fuck
suck.
YouTube money. Baby video cards.
Exactly. All right, Brandon, you got one?
I had one, but then I scrolled to Matt's question, and I lost the one I had.
Look at console, just fucking everything up. Always.
All right. Well, I have a few more. What do you guys think? And I'm going to go put my sling on when you guys answer this. What's the next hugely competitive FPS? And I have a couple ideas on this, but you guys go ahead.
Tribes Ascend.
I think it's either Tribes Ascend or, Tribes Ascend to a lesser extent, because I still think Tribes is going to be somewhat niche. But I would say the next big competitive title will probably be CSGO.
Depends.
Yeah, I think Tribes Ascend's a good answer. CSGO will depend on
the game itself.
Yeah, exactly. If it sucks, it doesn't matter. Yeah, like I said in the article that I wrote, it doesn't matter. Even if it doesn't suck, people will hate it. And people will, just like when Source came out and people hated Source, even with a lot of the changes that have taken place over the many years it's been out, if people, you have the 1.6 diehards and who just will not just hate the game. So
even Source players will say, though, at the core that 1.6 is a better game.
Yeah. So it's just
That's actually why I think CSGO will be the next competitive game, because a lot of people don't really care for Source. It's just that they don't want to play on the awful graphics of 1.6. So I think there's a ton of Source players who are looking to move to CSGO.
That's a good point. Yeah, no, I mean, if they can pull it off, you're right. It'll definitely be, like John said, depending on how the game turns out. And actually, there was quite a few articles to that where the developers talked about wanting to bring together 1.6 players and Source players. And this is as their best, like right now, they're saying their best effort to try to mesh what people like in both those games together. Yeah. So we'll see. But dude, I have a couple friends who have played Tribes competitively for many years, and they're like so pumped about Ascend. And I think the community's getting more and more excited as it gets closer. So, I mean, you can see a huge resurgence. I mean, Tribes was, you guys know more than me. I don't know how big the competitive Tribes community was at the time, like at its peak. I didn't pay attention. But, I mean, my friend was telling me, like, they used to, like, cast, like, he had, like, you know how they have, like, the different esports broadcasting networks and stuff like that still? Well, they don't really anymore, but, like, Tribes was a pretty big spectator game for a while.
I can see it being huge.
Yeah.
As a spectator game, because
in its prime,
it's like, everyone's flying around, and, like, that's more fun to watch, I think, than a lot of other games. I think Quake's really fun to watch, too, for the same reason.
Yep.
But,
Yeah, I think Tribes could definitely be. It could definitely be the next competitive game. Like yesterday, I think it was Nightright or someone tweeted at me and was asking, or maybe tweeted at KBMOD's account and asked like what I would compare the gameplay of Tribes to. And I actually thought about it. I was trying to think, what can I tell someone who's not who's not familiar with Tribes or like older games what Tribes' gameplay is like. And I really couldn't think about it. I was just like, it's a first-person shooter. It has skiing and jetpacks, and that's all I can really tell you. There's nothing else like it.
Yeah. You've all missed it though. You're all wrong. The next one is going to be Dota 2.
Yes. Well.
I'm serious.
Oh, I know it will be.
It's going to be massive.
Already.
Massive.
Actually, that's a good answer. I was thinking first-person shooter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You're right.
I wasn't really thinking about
I was too engrossed in this 1v5 GB clutch MP4 video to really think.
Someone send you that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
I'm real interested in the Modern Warfare 2 GB clutches, guys, especially when you're using MP5s, or UMPs, rather. I want to see as many of those as you can possibly send me.
Just send
what I mean is, if you send me one, I'm going to block you, like I'm going to block Hercules right after I watch this video.
And that was Rhino, by the way. It was Rhino.
Okay.
Hey, Hercules, you're blocked now.
So,
see you later, buddy.
You heard it here first,
John.
John.
Shitting on this guy.
John blocking in real time on the podcast.
Well, I guess we should wrap it up now. But we're going to wrap it up.
I have one more.
Ooh, okay.
I found the one that I was going to ask. It's actually, it's more of a novelty question, but I'm curious of the answer. It's for Scott. A. Rit, I think that's his name, asks, do you condition your beard? And if so, what conditioner do you use?
Wow, that's very interesting. And
I use Pantene Pro V, yes.
Pantene? Yeah.
Yes.
I actually have two different, as far as conditioner, I actually was using the Old Spice has a conditioner, actually.
Sweat of Young Men.
Yes, and I've used that. Right now, I'd have to actually go look and tell you what it is. I think I'm using like an off-brand actual shampoo, though, right now, and I don't have any conditioner, so right now, no, but I have in the past. I typically will just rub the shampoo in my beard, just like I'm washing my hair. You gotta keep it clean.
Yeah.
So are you saying you managed to get a promotion at work without conditioning your beard?
Yeah. So, I wash my beard, but conditioning it on a regular basis, no, I didn't really do that ever since I ran out of the conditioner that I was using, so it's been a while. Yeah. I think they probably gave me the promotion probably because I look Amish and they needed a diversity thing going on. So that's my best explanation.
All right, do you guys shampoo your ass crack?
Do I shampoo it?
Shampoo?
What?
No.
I have like a shampoo, body wash in one, so technically, yes.
That's exactly where I was going to go with it.
Oh, okay.
But I make sure that there's a good fair bit of lather in between my ass cheeks.
Oh yeah, dude.
Because I had a hairy ass, dude. It's bad. It's bad.
Oh wow.
Well, to end this on a positive note, including John's ass crack, Extra Life, man.
Killing it.
It's getting real.
I know. It's
with
actually.
This, we are at fuck, man. Let me pull it up again here.
$17,973.74.
That's incredible.
Wow.
People over there in Ireland, fans of Kevin, you guys are killing it.
Going nuts.
And our big stream, when a lot of people are going, hasn't even happened yet.
Yep.
So
we're well over $1,000 higher than Tryon Worlds. Those guys made a multi-million-dollar game. So,
and they have 360 people. I just can't even believe this. This is pretty amazing. And as I said, we haven't even. Obviously, it's everything's happening starting Friday.
Right.
We're going to have a consolidated channel with a stream going on it for basically probably 48 hours is what it'll end up being, because people are going to start Friday night and end on Sunday sometime. So we'll try to have someone streaming pretty much the whole time, whether it's one of us who actually run the site, or like Blacklight Attack or Juggernauts. I'm not sure who all we're going to
Bad Scout
allow to use it, but anyway, there will be people on it all the time. So enjoy that, and we're going to be just plugging for donations.
You can donate all during that time frame, thing. Right?
Yep, November 15th is
right.
And you can do PayPal, you can do credit card, whatever. But I would hope we would hit 20 grand.
I think that's very feasible right now. especially on the event day, like you said. I think that can happen. I can't believe the numbers right now.
Compile a post Friday.
Yeah.
And anyone who is streaming and is in the KBMOD group, email your Twitch TV and what time you'll be streaming and your Twitter handle email all that information to nipnops@kbmod.com, nipnops@kbmod.com. Email me that, and I'm going to put together a post Friday listing everyone's stream, and we'll kind of tweet that post throughout the weekend and put it on Facebook, put it everywhere. Get people to donate. Yeah, we got a lot of zeros in our group too, so you guys get a little cash money in there. I'm blown away though. I don't know about you guys. Like,
oh yeah, dude, it's incredible, man. I remember
I was
when
going to be so happy with $5,000. Like,
yeah, the fact that that's been eclipsed by the amount that it has been. Like, I remember when I saw we changed it to like 12.5. I was like, wow. And then 17, like,
yeah. Every time we've upped the goal, I've been astounded.
Yeah,
with
awesome.
with the generosity of everyone.
Also, they just tweeted Utarok, who's streaming with Kevin Munchgamer.
Nice.
I just retweeted it. Orb retweeted it. One of us retweeted it on KBMOD Gaming. They're 9 hours into their stream.
Yeah, I'll retweet that now too. Yeah.
We need to raise our goal. This is what they keep saying, which is true. We do.
That's awesome.
So they're just killing it, man. They had 4,000 people steady for like hours watching that thing. So, oh wow, I think Bob. Yeah, did Bob move it up? Yeah, Bob moved up the goal. So
nice,
killing it, guys. Nick Fenton's going to be wearing Zubas and a KBMOD shirt for this
for this live stream event. Beautiful.
I'm going to have a webcam. I bought a webcam, so I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'll be starting on Friday night. I don't know about you guys, but
yeah, I think you and
probably
John
9
Friday night at least.
Yeah, I'll be starting at 9 Eastern. I don't know if I'll be on the KBMOD account or just my own, but
if you're starting then, you'll probably be on the KBMOD account to start. Yeah,
so we'll definitely have someone streaming from Friday night, definitely on through Saturday, maybe into Sunday.
Yeah, we'll tweet the shit out of it. We'll be filling the TF2 server. John's got a ProMod server. We'll get you that information, all that stuff. So
definitely,
yeah, that's about it for this episode.
Let's do it.
Sweet. Yeah, definitely.
Can't believe it was episode 13.
Oh my god, yeah, can't believe
dude.
Unreal.
Yes.
Unlucky
13 boner here.
Wow. I did see it. You are gifted in that area, Dan. I slept over. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Later.
Boner.
The Extra Life video game marathon is coming on October 15th. Extra Life is just like a run or a walk or a bike event, except you never have to get off the couch. Sign up at extra-life.org. Then get friends and family members to give you money to play. On October 15th at 8 a.m., play any games you want on any system for 24 hours. Find out more and sign up. Extra-life.org. Play games. Heal kids. Extra Life.
Hello, gents, and thanks once again for tuning into the podcast this week. If you need to find the podcast, you can find it on podbean.com, our front page, or search iTunes for KBMOD. If you need your PC gaming fix during the week, you can go to kbmod.com or follow us on Twitter at KBMOD Gaming. We'll see you next week, guys.